Okay, well, we're just going to do a quick series of videos due to the lack of actual printed documentation. But these will get things going pretty quickly and give you an idea of what the site can do, how to use it, things like that. We're getting a lot of questions, and this is probably the fastest way to get it done. So to start, this is the front page. You've probably seen this by now. Banner going by kind of shows some capabilities of the site. You can use it with anything. What else do we have here? You can control when it's taken. You can control the quality. Standard stuff. What is a drone? Let your drone do drone things. Again, you don't need to use a drone with our service. It can be images from a helicopter, images from an airplane. That's kind of the line of work we've come from. And it's still useful for those as well. But you can have your, a quadcopter drone, a hexacopter drone, an airplane, whatever, it doesn't matter. Here's a quick sample that we think is pretty interesting that shows the progress of a potato field in the UK over the period of 7 weeks. So up here in the corner, you have a satellite view and a street view. That's for the back image. I'll show you that in a sec. Actually, we can get rid of that now. So that's the quality that you're left with standard satellite imagery. It's pretty bad. Nice and pixel vision right here. But if we put that overlay back in, so this is for June 3rd, and we put that back in, and all of a sudden you can actually see things. And then if a couple weeks later we put that overlay back in, you can see the growth that occurred during that period. And just to kind of do that again, fully zoomed out, so you can get the full effect. So going backwards in time. And then you can do it over a street view as well, which is not very interesting given that field. But in a city, that's pretty useful. And then just some more capabilities of the site. Okay, and then after the front page here, just going across the top bar, we have features, which is just quick write-ups on things that we think our system can do that are different from what everybody else is doing. Using drones for controlling when your aerial imaging is taking place. We do it with a 3D based stitch model. You can georeference it by hand or using camera EXIF tags. We'll get into that later. The site's built for professionals. So while hobbyists like to play with stitching images together, we view this as a tool for professional surveyors, construction professionals, farmers, everybody. That's generally who we've been talking to. But if you have a new idea for how to use the system, please let us know. It's a way to manage your aerial imagery over time. Again, we'll get into this later. But you can take a picture, on the first day of every month and track the progress of what the growth your fields will see over time through a year, or track the status of a construction site or whatever over time. And basically you can zoom in and see exactly what was going on with any part of the site at that time. It's easy to share the links. You can embed it in your own websites and things like that. And then kind of just a couple other quick. Next up, we have our pricing page. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's some stuff to read here. We have another video that kind of explains it a little better. But basically, maps are complicated. And, depending on what camera you want to shoot with, how high you're shooting, how fast you want to fly, the size of the pixels, the number of pixels, all these things. It can greatly affect how much data is needed to process a certain area. So we have a lot of people saying, how much is it per acre? Well, we can't answer the how much is it per acre question, because if you shoot it on one rig, it could be one number, and if you shoot it on another rig, it's a completely separate number. So what we've done is kind of boil it down into a point system, and we go over that here. Points are cheaper if you buy them in bulk. We have monthly subscriptions, which is the cheapest way to buy them, and then we have them available for outright purchase, which is a little more expensive, but it's more flexible. So we're just trying to be flexible and kind of work the way you want to work. Then some pricing samples are down here, which is the same samples that we've shown in a couple other places, but just calling out how many points it actually took to create them. So this one was 42 images. The fact that it's geotagged has nothing to do with the price, the point price of the processing. It really just boils down to the resolution. So you have your X pixels times your Y pixels. That's roughly 15, 16 megapixel image. There's 42 of them. So you do that math. It's 42 times 16 megapixels, and then it's 0.2 points per megapixel. So do the math. That's how it works out. Here's another sample, 178 images, so a lot more. None of these samples are actually this one is georeferenced. Again, georeferencing doesn't have anything to do with the price of it. This is just an aerial stitch, and it came out to be 427 points. And then we kind of have our big, huge one, which actually consisted of 2 full flights with the DJI Phantom 2. And basically the full battery. It's 561 images taken with a modified GoPro. So that came out to be probably a couple thousand megapixels, and it was 1,140 points to process.